Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you guys from?
Germany.
How many times have you been to Japan?
This is our first time.
First time.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the first city or you've been to other cities?
We arrived in Tokyo and we spent a night there and then went to Hakuba because there's a friend of ours who worked there. He works in a German hotel as a barkeeper.
German hotel.
Yeah.
What is it like?
It was a bit funny because it was like over exaggerated German culture. It does look a bit authentic, yeah. So I get why people go there to have German food and a bit of German culture, yeah.
Oh, okay. Everything is German.
Yeah.
It looks
like
German.
The interior, the food, the drinks, everything was German.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you drink beer a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bit of home, yeah.
Today's main topic is about culture shock. In Japan, have you ever experienced some culture shock?
Because we come from a really small village, so we have just 500 people in our village.
Okay.
And when we landed in Tokyo, it's a massive and big, huge city, so that was a bit of a shock, but it was so cool.
The toilets are really nice. Yeah, here with the electrician and shower functions, really interesting.
And the sheet is very warm, hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned your village is like 500 people.
Yeah, really small.
It's very small.
Yeah.
Is it still like small in Europe?
Yeah, the village has 500 people and the next biggest city has 22,000 people, so it's a bit bigger. But it's just, in the countryside and just a lot of older people. That's where we grew up, yeah.
What's the name of the village?
Hatau?
Hatau?
Yeah.
Where is it located in Germany?
The most eastern part of Germany, so about 200 meters to the Polish border. So you can walk to Poland and check.
Okay. You said that it is a little bit shocking when you came to Tokyo, but I imagine it is very...
Well, for me it wasn't that shocking because I always loved Asian food. I love animes, manga, so I was always into Japanese culture. I already knew a lot about it, so I didn't have that big of a culture shock.
Okay. You like Japanese like subculture?
Yes.
When your interest into Japanese culture started?
Probably when I was 5 or 6, because in Germany when we grew up you had a lot of animes on television, so I watched Sailor Moon, Inuyasha. I watched all of that when growing up, so I was always a bit connected to Japanese culture when growing up.
Okay. Have you ever been to other countries except of Japan too?
You mean Asian countries or in general?
In general.
Like we have been to a lot of European countries, Poland, Czech, Norway, Italy, Croatia. Also, I've been to Ireland.
When you go to European other countries, do you feel some culture shock?
No. Because for us, it's easier to get around in Europe. We have open borders. We can just drive to another country. It's really easy. Food-wise, it would be a bit different, but other than that, no, not really.
Okay. So you've been to other Asian countries?
No, Japan is the first Asian country. Yeah.
So maybe it was a country you felt the biggest culture shock?
Probably a country like Egypt.
Egypt.
Yeah, yes. Outside of the tourist spots, it's a really poor country, so that was a bit of a shock.
Which country did you like the most?
That's a hard question.
No, not really sure. I think every country has their each advantages and disadvantages, so you can't really say, that's the best country. There are so many.
Yeah. I agree with that. I would say maybe Japan is a bit on top, but yeah.
Lastly, what do you want to say to people who are considering coming to Japan, visiting Japan?
Well, first of all, if you're hesitating to come to Japan, you should definitely come here. Like, it's a whole new experience, and you get to meet so many nice people. You get to eat so much food, like try out new things, and it will just, kind of alter your brain. Like, you won't be the same anymore after you came here.
It was nice to talk with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
Italy.
Italy. What brought you to Japan?
We are fan of the culture in general and also of anime. So we came here because we love the culture. We've been planning this trip for around 10 years. So now finally we are here.
Okay, 10 years.
Yeah.
So what was your impression of Japan after 10 years of like hoping to come here?
I love this place. I want to move here, honestly. And also, like, coming from Italy, it's so different and beautiful. Good impression so far. Good impression.
Today's main topic is about culture shock. So coming from Italy, did you get some culture shock, like positive, negative, any culture shock?
Like the major one we were talking before is like the train, because our train system is awful. In general, train are always late. You never find your place on the train. People are very awful during the trip. Here, the train are amazing. Like the regional train is equal to our first class train in Italy. So we never took, like until now, the Shinkansen. But I can imagine, like if the regional train was so good, I can imagine like the Shinkansen. If you go to some place, they are so small. We are not that big as people. Like in Italy, you have people like around 1.90 centimeters. They are so tall. The buildings are so small. Like you cannot enter places because you are so big. And if you walk in an aisle, I am always afraid I'm gonna knock something off because I'm so small and we are not small.
You went to Akihabara. You are anime fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
What kind of like souvenir you got?
Ask him.
I bought about 6 or 7 action figure.
Okay. Can you bring it to Italy?
Yeah. I bought 2 empty luggages only for that.
Okay. You prepared.
Yeah, because merchandise not always available in Italy. So I came here with the idea of buying as much thing as possible.
You are here in relatively rural area in Japan, and you've been to Tokyo, big city too. I'm curious about one thing, because you are anime fan, which fits your image of seeing a lot of anime, like Tokyo or this countryside?
This countryside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why so?
Like for example, my favorite anime is Your Name, Kimi no
Your
na
Name.
wa. And so this reminds me of like the city where Mitsuha is from, honestly.
So you went to Suwa Lake?
No, I want to go there, but we don't have enough time.
Okay.
That's a shame to come to Japan. You have to do a lot of things in like 2 weeks, and you have to pick and choose what you have to do. So we prefer to go to Kyoto, and we had to drop that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah. But I went to the steps, the famous step of Your Name.
In Tokyo, Yotsuya.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you like Shinkai Makoto's film?
Yeah, a lot.
Lastly, what do you want to say to people who are considering to come to Japan? Some like message, advice?
To enjoy the place and try to enter into the Japanese culture as much as they can, because it's very beautiful, and not to stay on your Western mindset and just enter fully into Japan and visit as many as countryside as possible, because it's very beautiful.
It was interesting to talk with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you guys from?
We're from England.
England. Are you living in Japan or?
I've been living here since April last year, but my sister is just visiting.
Today's topic is about culture shock. However, some culture shock in Japan?
Definitely. People here are a lot more polite.
Polite. Like compared to like British people, you feel that people here are more polite?
Yes. I feel like British people are a bit more open though. If you walk into a bar or say a shop, people are more likely to sort of say hello and start a conversation. But while I've been here, I found that it's very difficult to start a conversation with people.
British people start conversation with even like strangers too?
Sometimes.
Okay.
It's more of an older generation thing, but you still find it. Especially like my dad.
Some foreigners say Japanese people apologize too much. Did you feel that while you were living here for 1 year?
We're British, so no.
Yeah, I heard it.
We're always saying, "Oh, sorry about that."
Yeah. I actually heard from like British people that in terms of that, British people are very similar to Japanese.
In terms of that, yes. We don't do the sort of the bowing.
Okay. How do you apologize?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Apologize for everything that you do, just in case.
Just in case. Did you find other things which is similar with British people about Japanese people?
I can't say that I have actually. I found Japanese people and British people are very, very, very different.
How do you describe British people?
I think that really depends on where you're from. In the north, we find they're a lot more open, a lot more
Loud,
chatty. They're more likely to start a conversation with you. But people from sort of London and the south are a bit more reserved, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been around Japan. I've been up to Sapporo.
Okay.
And I've visited Hiroshima, Osaka. I found that people there, they're very, very different.
What kind of difference did you feel in each area?
Starting with Tokyo, it's people are very polite, but not quite. I don't want to say cold, but a lot more to themselves.
Yeah.
I noticed it a lot more in Hiroshima, more than any other place. But I felt like I could talk to people. Like we started conversations with people just sort of out and about.
You felt like more warm in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Osaka as well was they were a bit like the town itself, very lively.
Okay. Did you ever get some other culture shock?
Much cleaner.
Yes.
Cleaner.
Everywhere is clean here.
Okay.
Streets are just no rubbish, nothing. In the UK, it's everywhere.
Okay.
Looking at this park sort of over here, the grass is very short, very clean, very short. No rubbish, there's no graffiti. It's absolutely immaculate, which is actually it's very surprising for us. It's like being in Disneyland sometimes. It's like someone's always looking after it, like in Disneyland.
By the way, what was the purpose to visit here?
We heard that this place was the inspiration for the anime movie Your Name, and it looked so spectacular in the anime that we absolutely had to visit here.
Where did you get the information about this lake, like affiliated with the movie?
We were looking for places to visit, and we saw like a list of top 10 anime real life locations to visit, and this was pretty high on the list of great places to visit.
Did you visit other places of like anime?
Yes. Yesterday, before we got on the train to come here, we visited the other very famous location from that film, the steps from the poster of the movie.
The stairs?
Yes, the stairs. Yes.
In Yotsuya?
Yes.
Okay. While you were living in Japan, did you find something inconvenient?
Bit nitpicky about the convenience stores. They're very convenient, but like when I want to make food, they don't sell individual things to make food with. Very small thing.
Okay.
In the UK, convenience stores are very much like small supermarkets.
Okay.
So they'll sell food to make food with. But in Japan, it's very, very much snacks sweets.
Or already made.
Yes.
Made
yes.
one.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe like the concept of convenience store is different. Like Japanese one and the European one is different. Lastly, what do you want to say to people who want to visit Japan, wish to live in Japan?
First of all, definitely do come and visit. It's one of the cleanest, prettiest places I've ever been. Having lived in England, it's so different in terms of how it just feels and looks. So if you're looking for an experience that is completely different, then please do come and visit.
Brush up on the language a little bit before you go. Maybe learn a bit more than hello.
You landed before?
Well, I just saw it in anime and I just...
Okay.
That's about it for me. That's all I can say.
It was nice to talk with you guys. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. It's nice to talk to you too.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。いかがだったでしょうか？動画のご感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄で教えていただけますと幸いです。たくさんのコメントお待ちしております。チャンネル登録の際は通知ボタンもお忘れなく。